to the second J18 webinar series. Today, we're going to be discussing video measurement using our RamSnap DM200. Thank you for coming. My name is Chris Johnson, and I'm the Capital Equipment Product Manager at J18. And today, with the Snap DM200, this is a different type of video system than what is experienced mostly in the field. Okay, so the Snap DM200 uses a large field of view measurement, meaning that we measure items that are up to 4 inches in diameter in one screenshot. And what you're seeing now in front of you with the Snap, we have a moving stage on this particular model. We have them without moving stages as well. Today, we'll be demonstrating this as a non-moving stage machine, reason being that if we move the stage, the camera is constantly strobing, and it does interfere some with the webinar. But I think you'll be able to get the idea of everything that we want to cover today. So we're going to talk about video measurement of different styles of parts. We're going to talk about the Snap DM200 and how we've taken some of the programming out of these video systems. I think if you're familiar with video systems over the past 20 years, it's a pretty intense process of learning the programming functions and things of that nature. We can still do the regular programming with the Snap, but then we have our ease-of-use programming as well, and that's what I'm going to go over this morning. I've got a couple of parts with me that I'm going to demonstrate for you, and we'll demonstrate how the measurement happens. Okay? So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to let Colin do my zoom in for me with the camera. He's actually bringing the camera in closer to the gauge so you can see it. You should have 2 panels on your screen, one showing the machine, the other one actually just showing the software on my screen. Okay? With the machine, that's the only thing we're going to see today is lighting and things that are moving. So let's talk about a couple of things to measure. I'm going to bring in a part. You can see this ring. We call it a gasket. And you can see it on the stage. So the gasket that's on the stage now, you can see the size of it. You can also see that put a little top light here so you can see it. You see the hand on the screen that this unit, the whole part, is constantly in focus, which is unique to these type systems. They have large depth of field, meaning that we can measure all parts without having to refocus. The system is always in focus. There are some optimal locations, but for the most part, it's always in focus. As we change mag, that focal depth becomes smaller. The lenses on this system are fully telecentric, no matter where you are within the path, meaning that we can lower the stage. We're doing now, and you can still see the part is still well in focus, and we can raise the stage. All right? Anywhere we take our measurement within this stage volume, our lenses are fully telecentric and through the entire zoom range. Okay, and basically what that means is that wherever you are in the zoom field, that we measure a particular size of the part, that it stays that way throughout the focal length of the camera. Okay? So that's looking at that part. I'm going to put another part on the stage. It's just a block, if you will. Okay. And let's talk about how we measure this. A simple walk-up measurement is just putting the part on the stage, and on the software screen in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a wheel there, a colored wheel. This colored wheel has program, measure, and run. And then you'll see a green blinking arrow. That same blinking arrow, there's a button on the front of the machine that an operator can come press, and it's going to do the exact same thing. Right? So when we press that green arrow, the machine looks at the part that's there and does some automatic measurements for us. So we can see in the field of view that the machine picked up that there were 4 holes, and it measured all 4 holes. It also picked up distances between those holes, an overall height of the part, and a width. Okay? And of course, with each one of these, we can also add and take away dimensions. Suppose this upper left-hand circle, showing in the screen up here, if we wanted to know the distance of this circle, right? We can just highlight the dimensions, and it'll tell us what each one of those are. Okay? Now this has become a program. We can select over on the right-hand side of the screen, we have a button here that says Generate All. And it's now complete. We select the Run key. I'm going to slow the speed down so we can see it. You can see the edge detection features going out and measuring each item that was identified. Give it to run there. Okay, so each item was identified and measurements taken on the screen. Okay, we can do the same thing by turning this part over. Select New here. We don't want to save that. Okay. And of course, we can go into our measure mode. And here we can adjust the stage. Let's say we have a really tall part, such as this one. We'll put this on the stage. We'll move the stage down a little bit. Okay. Under storing a new position. And we'll select the measure icon or the green icon key. Just grabbing the part, and you can see that it has completed a measurement. We have length, width, circle diameters. Okay. It calculated an origin in this lower left-hand corner and went on ahead and gave us the hole locations as well. Okay. We can select Generate All. And we'll go into our program mode. Excuse me, our edit mode. Run this. And again, I've got this running in the sort of slow here, so we can see the edge detection. Select Finish. Okay. We can also add items if we wish. So we have edge detection tools that are available as well. If you would just want to come up and start measuring items, we have what's called a feature finder. If we just want to know what a diameter of a circle is, we can zoom in. We still have the full 4 inches available to us for the field of view. You notice I can move the part around and actually not move the stage. Okay? So even though we're zoomed in and we're looking at a smaller area, we can still see a complete 4 inches in the field of view. Okay? And from here, we just click on that circle, and it goes in and it gives us this diameter. We could do the others as well. Give that a double click, and we can measure this diameter as well. This is that 100,000th diameter. And go over and measure again. So you can just see with just a couple of button clicks, and all I do is just come up and double click these two circles. We can measure diameters, and we can also get length and width. We want to know the width between those two. Just click the width icon, and then it gives me the width of 337 thousandths between those two. Okay? So just walking up and measuring with a part is very simple as well. You just put the part on the stage, and with a few mouse clicks, we're able to generate length and width. Okay? We also have the ability to measure surface measurements as well. So we take that same block, okay, and we're going to turn on surface light. So we can also see features located on the top of the part. Okay? So if we want to measure, let's say, some chamfer diameters, okay, we can do the same. Basically, it's 3 clicks, and I think you can see around the outside of the screen there. There's some points. I'll make these in a darker color, something brighter color. You can see that. All right, so we have a series of points. We took 23 points just that quick and measured that that diameter there, that counterbore. I'm going to select to keep that counterbore and put a tolerance on it. It's a 1/4 inch. I'm going to put a tolerance of plus or minus 5 thousandths. And we'll grab the bottom one as well. Okay, another 1/4 inch counterbore. And we'll do the same, put it a 1/4 inch, plus or minus 5 thousandths. And let's do the width between those two, or a distance between those two counterbores. We can see that on the screen there. That width is a 610. And we'll put this one at 610 plus or minus 2 thousandths. So we've applied tolerances associated with that. Within this screen on the right-hand side, as you see here, you can kind of see this little scale that comes up. We can send, almost like an SPC deal, we can send this data to SPC and do live and real-time SPC through QC Calc. And we can show X bar and R charts, rating charts, CPK value, and we can do that live as well. Okay? So basically, I just measured these 2 circles and asked for a width, selecting the run key, measures those 2 circles and the width, and once we have a program written with tolerancing, it shows up on the front end of the screen whether the part is good or bad. It gives me a checkbox and says, yes, your 3 dimensions that you asked for, circle and width, are all within specification, and they're good. Okay? So that's kind of the basic programming of what this thing can do. So once we have a program, it has the ability to measure multiple parts and see things. Okay? And what I mean by see things, it can determine what part is located on the stage. For example, I'm going to come back to our original part, the gasket, which has a routine. And if we do the same thing in the measure mode for the operator, we're in the measure mode, we select the green flashing button. What's going to happen is the machine is going to take an image, it's going to recognize that part that already has a routine, and it will run that routine. Okay? So we'll select the play button. It recognizes the gasket routine, moves the stage to where it was measured. and it's completed its measurement. Now I have that slow down. I'll start speeding that up. So what you see on the screen here is that it measured various circles, widths. All of them checked out good. It gives me my diagram on the right. It also shows a bar up at the top here, and it says gasket. It just says number 1 because it only found one part. Now, if we had loaded 2 or 3 parts on the stage, it'll search the stage and then find the parts, no matter what orientation they're in, and redo the measurement. Right? For example, if I select Finish here, let's rotate the part on its side and reload it. We'll select the measure. It's going to do the same thing. We'll take the picture. It says it's preparing its image. It will go through and look for that part in the library. It found that part. And it is running. Right? All right. So just a reminder, coming back, that if you're not seeing the video, if you click on the Participants tab, it does show up in the screen. Okay. So here we took this. It measured the part. It saw it in a different orientation, and grabbed the part just fine. Okay. So we'll show a couple more examples. All right. I'm going to move our stage and reset here. Set the stage there. All right. So what do we do when we have multiple parts? So in the case of on the screen, this is unique to the SNAP system, is that we don't have to tell this gauge how many parts are on the stage. We just load them on the stage. You can see them in the video window. There's just four nuts here, but they all have dimensions, and I believe one of these is out of spec. But for an operator, we don't have to tell the machine how many are there. And you can imagine this, if this was a larger stage, if we had a movie stage, we could have 100 of these on the stage at one time, if you will. We select the measure icon. The machine is preparing an image, and it's going to look for a program that fits those parts. It found all 4 of those parts. And again, I have this slowed down quite a bit so the video comes through. So it's going to each one of these parts. You can see it's measuring the outside of edge of each one and the internal diameter. Okay? So it did find one that was out of specification. All right? And what's nice here is it shows on the screen here that we have green boxes around the parts that passed and a red box around the part that did not. In the top right of the screen, the visual for the operator, we have 3 check boxes. It found 4 parts, and it found the 4th part being out of specification. Okay? So it kind of tells you which ones you can go out on the stage and pick that part up and put that in the bad bin. Right? Any one of the other parts, if we want to view the dimensions, we just select the part that we want to view. It puts that part in full screen field, and it gives us the dimensions as well along the sides. So we can see the width of each one of those and the diameter. We can cursor through each part individually. Okay? So it's a really good tool for doing part sorting as well. If you have a lot of parts on there, you would let it generate the program for one of those and put as many parts on the stage as you want. It'll scroll through and find the parts, count them for you, measure them, and then let you know if any of those are bad and point you toward which one is. So if you have 100 parts up there, that could be hard to figure out. do another part on the stage. See the size of that part as well, and we'll do this one and let it generate a routine, and we'll save that routine. So I'll show you the process for registering a new part in the program. So under the measurement, we'll select the measure icon. It's preparing its image. So it found this part, and it's going to generate a routine for it. We have some hole locations sort of thing there. All right. The process here is to select Generate All. So it has those. I'm going to run this routine. We'll speed it back up. All right, so we need to move our stage down just a little bit. Okay. A little bit tall there. Do our measurement. Perfect. Generate all. All right. The machine worked its way around the part. See what we got. So we go back to our low settings, our low mag. You see here on one of the holes that gave me the dimension, this is both X and Y. Right? If we hover over that dimension, it gives me the option to choose which I want to display. And I want to display the Y-axis. Okay? So now I know the height of those holes from this bottom flat. This looks like a program that we want to save, and we want to keep this. Okay? We register what's called registering the part. So we're going to select the registration icon. Here it's asking me to name it for a part. We'll call this one Web Demo. And select Save. And that's it. That program is done. We can take that part now, remove it from the stage, set it in any orientation that we want. Go back into our measure mode and just click the run icon. It's going to look for that part. It found it, and now it's doing its measurement. And there's the results. So the takeaway here is it's not a program-intense machine. You put the part under there, you press the go button, it measures all the outside features on its own. It generates the lengths, diameters, and it generates the edge detection tools on its own. So for an operator, you don't really have to do much other than save the image, so it links the image to that file program. Anytime we want to make a change, we do have another screen. I will show this screen over here. This allows you to ask for particular dimensions that may have not have shown on the original pass. You can move your origins around. You can change different lengths and widths. We also have a CAD Navigator that's available. So if you would rather program the CAD model, you can do that as well. You can program the DXF file, so it's a 2D DXF programming option. Okay. But this is the general basics of the Snap 200. I can open the floor for questions. If we'll show a couple other features here. You can see that we're in focus. It also makes for a great visual inspection tool. one of the things that we can do is you can illuminate the part. Of course, you can see, because it's in focus, that video may be coming in as a little sketchy. But because it's in focus throughout its range, you can certainly look down into the bottom of objects. We can measure down to the bottom of those objects. I'll go into a high mag state. So this is a high mag state. You can see that there's items down in the bottom of this bore. All right, and this bore depth is about 1.5 inches, by the way. And then we can even increase our mag further. So this has a dual mag system, or a dual lens system. So it changes its lens over. Now we've gone into a 25 millimeter field of view, and you can see the image clarity there. We wanted to measure that diameter, which is down in the bottom of that part. Just select 3 points. And we can measure points around that diameter. It's giving me a 400,000th diameter there. And let's see how many points we get. We've got 140 data points just in 3 clicks. Okay? So let's open the floor up for questions. If you have any, please type them in, and we'll answer your questions from there.
Here's our first one. Can this machine be used on my production floor?
Yes. This machine is production floor ready. There's no air that's required to it. And on this, from the Snap series, the only thing that moves on these machines is if you get a stage, there is a moving stage. But other than that, even in the most simplest form, what we call our Snap 100, which does not have a moving stage, there are no moving parts there. So you can do 4-inch field of view measurements all day. There's nothing there. The only thing that you would have to take care of is to this top of your stage glass. You may, if you're in an oily environment or something, you may have to wipe the top of that stage glass once in a while to keep it clean.
How much space does it need? Are there any special requirements like a heavy-duty table or draft shielding which are necessary?
Okay, perfect. So depending on the size of the machine, this particular one, the DM200, which has the moving stage, and then the next one up is the 300, which has a 12-inch moving stage. You have an area of about 2 feet deep, maybe, that you would require, and about 18 inches wide as far as the space requirements for that size of machine. For the DM100, it's about 14 inches deep, and I would say maybe that same in width as well. As far as shielding goes, I haven't had to have any shields built around it. If it's a shield question as far as light goes, depending on where you set it, right now in this room that we're in, we have a lot of overhead lighting, and it doesn't seem to interfere with these shiny parts. I haven't seen reflections come off of that. So I haven't seen the need for shielding yet, but I haven't been in all the different situations unless there's just an overhead light shining straight down on top of the stage and you have a shiny part. You may have to put a light shield there to block the light from above.
As far as system types, do you offer a system with a touch probe?
Oh, great question. Yes is the answer to that, but that is offered on our floor standing units. We have a Snap 350, and the 350 machine is a 14-inch by 14-inch stage, and that machine can be equipped with touch probe if you want to measure depth. So if you wanted to measure how deep the part is, you could go several inches deep, and you could also have a star probe attached to that, so that if you will, if we wanted to measure, if you can see the part on the stage, we wanted to measure a hole going into the side of the part, the touch probe can come down at a 90-degree angle and measure that hole as well. So we have that capability to add a three-dimensional measurement with that system as well by adding a touch probe. And the touch probes are standard Renishaw touch probes that you would find on 99% of the CMMs out there.
Can you show a measurement report for a part?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So let's go back to the gasket part. That one has some tolerance associated with it. All right, we go into our measurement mode here. All right, so it's going to measure the gasket part. All right, so that shows that it's passed. We can see the results on the right. Okay, let's go to the fourth side. So on this bottom left of the screen, this is what would be sent to a printer, and it has the routine name, it says gasket, has a run number, there's a date and time stamp. This is Thursday, January the 11th, 2018 at 9:31. And then below that is the measurement report. So we have the diameter, have a nominal size, 1 inch 920, gives the actual. Tolerancing, plus or minus 2,000. It gives me the deviation, which is away from nominal. And then if it's exceeded its specification, it'll give me a number. If it's on the plus side, I have pluses here, and if it's on the negative, we have minuses. Each plus and minus sign represents 20% of the tolerance. These fields, where we call them diameter and step or radius, these can be customized. You can put in any notes that you want. You can name them by feature. We can call them, thread diameter. You know, call it upper right corner radius, radius number 1. You can name these things in any convention that you want. All right? And this is the standard report that comes out of the gauge. We do have the ability to do customized reporting, where we can have a picture of your part show up on the report, if you will. We can have, your company logos, company headers, and that sort of thing. But what you're seeing in front of you right now, this particular report is the standard report that would come through the printer or a text file, wherever you want to save it. Okay? I hope that answered your question.
How many parts can you put on stage at one time?
I haven't ran into that limit yet. So, to say I don't know would probably be the right answer. I've had 50 smaller parts on there, and watched it count through those. I've got several customers with the 350 that I think are running more than that with the 14-inch by 14-inch stage, putting quite a few on there. So to answer that, I really don't know. I'd have to check. If you have a particular number of parts that you want to have measured, certainly send that in, and I'll get an answer for you.
JAP offer fixtures.
Yes, we do. So the fixturing side, we have our custom engineering group right behind the door here that handles all custom fixturing, and what we'll do is you send in a part, a drawing, or a CAD model. We can set up a special fixture for the gauge if you want to hold a part a particular way, or if you want to see a particular view of a part where it doesn't lend itself to just laying on the stage normally. We try to design the fixtures so that we use some acrylic on the base, so we don't lose the ability to have our bottom light measurements disappear on us, if you will. And we do offer some standard fixturing kits as well, sort of a modular type system where we can have a acrylic plate based on top with a series of holes in it for clamps and mounting pieces and things like that. You can design your own custom fixtures.
What are the power requirements for this machine?
So the power requirements just standard 110. Plug it in, and you're off and going. There's no special requirements. We do ask though that whatever plug that you're using, that it is clean. We have found instances out where, because of the way that the system works with so much optics power coming through, especially when we're strobing. And what I mean by strobing is that as the stage moves, the camera is constantly flashing and blinking, so it's stitching those images together. And we don't have clean power. You have where power comes in and comes out, that could affect the strobing.
Does JA King offer service
Yes. So J.A. King handles these systems. We handle them, so to speak, from right from the beginning. So the system is, once it's purchased, it's shipped to your facility, and we'll send a technician out, and we'll do the complete installation, training, and calibration. And any future services as well, we offer that. Absolutely. We take care of these machines 100%. All right. We're good. So what I would ask for the attendees, one, say thank you very much for attending this, and thanks for your time today. I'm always available to do customized demonstrations. If you have particular parts that you want to have measured, we encourage you to be in touch with J.A. King, and you can call me directly, or you can certainly send me an email. I'm at chris.johnson@jaking.com. And so we can set up a customized demo with your parts and go from there. We can do demonstrations both online and at your facility. So if you have any further interest, by all means, give us a shout. And this is just one of the systems that we offer in video inspection line. We also offer more specialized video pieces of equipment as well, multi-sensor with touch probe and laser. I'll be more than happy to talk about it. Okay, so our next webinar is going to be on surface finish measurement. So if you ever have instances where you want to measure surface finish on the top of a part, or maybe inside of a groove, or inside of a bore, we're going to have some specialized surface finish equipment that is designed to do just that, not just your standard come across a flat there. We're going to be able to measure surface finish on curved surfaces as well as line surfaces inside of grooves, and that I believe is February the 22nd, and that'll be our next in our webinar series. We hope to have you there. All right. Thank you very much for attending, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.